Weird. Hey guys, Gene Graves here. Push this back just a little bit. There we go. So you guys may have looked at the name of the video. Um, well, first I decided to start doing this because it's kind of a letting you guys know where I'm at on my catching up part of the manga that I'm trying to read. Um, as you guys know, I do have a little bit that I'm trying to catch up on. Um, what's up, Amasio J? So I decided that I was going to try and do maybe like a Sunday live stream at least until I get caught up on all my current stuff that I'm trying to do. So and then kind of show it off just a little bit. Um, which ones like estimated I'm trying to finish for the week, any stuff like that. So and then I'll kind of give you like if I know what's going on next week, just a little bit. So anyway, the reason why the name of the video is Ketchup Like the Condiment is because if you guys have talked to me at all and you ever tell me, oh, I'm falling behind or anything, I always say, catch up, baby tomato, catch up. Um, so that's the reason why instead of just putting regular ketchup, I put the condiment. So it's kind of a pun on words because you guys know that I say that. Anyway, though, so at the same time, I'm also trying to upload one of my manga hauls that I just got yesterday. So that's happening on my phone, and then on the laptop we're doing this. So maybe we can get two videos on there at once. Mustard, I do like mustard. That's the bad thing. My brother is one of those people that likes ketchup on top of his ketchup, and then I just like mustard. That's the worst thing ever for for you as far as it goes. I like a little mayonnaise, but just not, you can't go overboard with that. But anyway, so there's some other ones in here I don't have, which is Prison School. I think 9 and 10. I didn't bring in here, but I need to catch up on those. And then I Am a Hero. I think it's 5 and 6 or 6 and 7. Um, but really, that's about it. That's in the other room that I'm trying to catch up on. Those are the bigger ones. But right now, I'm reading Attack on Titan Before the Fall, Volume 14. That's the current one that's out. Trying to catch up on that before I get the next one, just so I can kind of go through it faster. Lord Marksman and Vanitas, Volume 8. Holy Corpse Rising, Volume 5. Yes. And it's good. I mean, it's really good. Um, Attack on Titan Before the Fall, I mean, is excellent. And what's going on right now, um, I mean, is great. And like I said, like Before the Fall, I feel like is great all the time. Aside from like the regular one where you get like some stuff is good and then you'll get through like a couple volumes and you'll be like, this is, I don't like it at all. And you get into it again and you'll be like, oh man, this is great. You know, it's got kind of those spurts. Attack on Titan Before the Fall is good all the time. So, um, and then we have some more over here I'm trying to catch up on or anything like that. I added a couple to it, which I don't think I added over here yet. The Demon Slayer one, Amascio J. So it's the only bad thing. That's pretty cool. And then I'm going to try and catch up on Smoke Parade Volume 4, which I know Amascio J said wasn't all that great compared to the rest of the stuff. Clockwork Planet 8. These are just all ones that I'm trying to like catch up on like soon. Um, this stack right here also has some stuff in it. It's cool that they're giving you a new one, right? You should let them know that. Then they can fix the problem. They'll probably send you a new one. Um, Land of the Lustrous Six, and these are just ones I'm going to try and read for next week. So, Monster Soul 1 and 2. That was my new one I got from the one guy. Radiant, that's going in here too to read. Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu. And let me get down here to the bottom. Golden Kamoi 6 and Nekigahara Volume 4. Right. I hope that I can get to reading it here soon. Yokai Girls Volume 4. And there's a couple other ones in here that I need to catch up on besides like my stacks. But these ones I'm going to try and do next week. So, right. I need to get caught up on the 6th one. It just came out. Made in Abyss and Fire Punch, both Volume 3s. I'll just go ahead and grab this whole pile. Children of Wells 5 and 6. I just got 6, so that shouldn't take very long. And then Kuroneko or Emo Kuroneko 3, 4, 5, and 6. That completes that series. These are the ones I'm going to try and get done next week. I might add a few other ones to it. But nothing like too crazy. But yeah, just trying to like stay up to date on these. Now, I did say that I was going to let you guys know. Oh yeah, I'll show you that one. Now, this is the last one I said I was going to wait and hold off on. Amasco J, and it's the Dragon Ghost House Hunting. Doesn't that border look like a Delicious in Dungeon border? So this volume seems like it's smaller, but I mean that looks like who made it. That's the one I'm going to hold off of like my newer stuff that I just recently got. But next week I do have a class all week, so I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, next week I have a class all week. That's the only bad thing. Last week I had a class all week. That's why I wasn't able to read more. I did get to read like Dr. Stone and Black Torch, and start on Attack on Titan before the fall of Volume 14. But I didn't get to do really more than that. So hopefully I can do that. And I might just take a week off from work maybe and read the whole time. Dr. Stone was great. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really funny how they awakened the guy and he already had like this different demeanor from his past and started going around breaking the statues and stuff. It was a little crazy. But it seems like it's really fast paced. I hope it slows down just a little bit. Because they like time skipped like 4 times. So hopefully they'll kind of slow it down just a little bit in Volume 2. But if not, I mean, it still is a really good series. I did hear somebody say that they thought the next coming of the big 3 or another big 3 was happening. Another manga tuber person that I watched. And they said Dr. Stone was one. and something else. Yes, that's who it was. They had those three though, and I had to disagree because Doctor Stone and I can't remember the other one they said. Oh yeah, My Hero Academia. I strongly agree with. The torch was actually passed down from that. If you've seen any of like the side comics, Promise Neverland and Doctor Stone, I think are going to be in competition though because they're kind of alike. They're both kind of futuristic, almost like apocalyptic worlds because of the stuff that happened. Depending on how far Doctor Stone goes, it may be a little different. It might not, but I don't think that that will, and especially Promise Neverland. I did like that he said it fits shonen manga untraditionally because you have the traditional sense. That's usually battle manga, and Promise Neverland isn't really that. I would say Promise Neverland more so fits Case Closed, which even though Case Closed has been going on forever, it's not considered one of the big three at all. So I think Promise Neverland fits with Case Closed a lot more. I quit. Um, but yeah, so I do think that Doctor Stone has the potential. Not 100% sure on that. I hope that we get some better stuff with that. But yeah, let's see. We got done with our stuff. We are at 4% on the manga haul upload. And if you know about that, I changed it. I let you guys know where I do content now, unless it's like me showing off something in general. You know, like where it's something you need to see, like if I do the Super Dungeon Explorer videos, when I get those, more of those pieces or anything, or something that's on my shelf, like the pops. Um, I am going to pull those down and actually do my manga reviews where you guys can see me, basically. Um, that's kind of what this uploading video is. That way, you guys get to see my face. We get to talk about it and different stuff. Um, you know, hey, Elias, I decided to do a live stream kind of last minute because I was like, well, me and Amaskio J usually do ours later, and I usually do mine later, maybe like 7, 8 my time. So I was like, if I do it earlier, maybe some other people can watch it. So I'm gonna try and make this like a regular thing where I kind of go in and talk about like series that I'm trying to catch, like my ongoing series or ones I'm just trying to catch up on general or in general before I start this TBR monster right here with all that stuff. So 9 p.m. Man, what time is it here? It's 2 p.m. here. So we're about 7 hours off. But yeah, so I've kind of showed some of those. Right now, I'm trying to catch up on Attack on Titan Before the Fall, Volume 14. But I also have like another 20 volumes I'm trying to catch up on. That's fine, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so me and Elias can talk. Woot! But yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do. And like I said, with my manga hauls, I'm going to start doing it where you guys see my face and I hold up the book and I'm like, hey, this is the new one I got. Da 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 da. you know, my anticipations and all my other stuff for it. Um, you know, basically how far I want to get into it, how much I want to read, that kind of stuff. Because right now I'm just basically playing catch up, you know, and hopefully I can get all these ones read down by the time um, Bazaar gets here in October. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all of that. I'd like to, but I don't know if that's possible. Yeah. So I decided to do it that way. That way, you can ask those questions. I also, if you notice, I took down all my manga reviews because that's going to change too. I took down everything because I didn't want anybody to like worry about that. And when I started my channel, that's kind of all I had was my manga reviews before I got in front of the camera. So I decided that I was going to um, do my manga reviews in front of the camera where I could hold up the volume or the volumes and show you all the different ones. Oh, well, welcome back. But yeah, I could hold up the volumes and let you know about the series and go through all of them. You know, I'll probably have to get like a second table so I can be like, this is volume 1, 2, 3, you know, all the way to whatever amount there are. Because I mean, Fairy Tail's 60, so. And then the other thing that I decided to do was if I have a series that I did before that might not have been completed, is go back and update those ones more usually. Um, you know, as a whole, maybe give it like another 5 volumes, and then do a manga review on it. But I'm going to do that in front of the camera as well. So, but yeah, you know, not too much craziness, you know, except for that thing. I am going to, and I believe both of you guys are on my Twitter. I am gonna start doing stuff on my Twitter where it's for my TBR stuff. Most likely, it's going to be my current stuff. So it's going to be like, what series should I read and catch up on? Um, Stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, I'm going to try and finish a couple of these new series that I got, um, which I can go ahead and show you those. Let me move some of these ones. These other ones are basically updates or ones that I just need to catch up on. But I got these ones yesterday. That's what I was telling Mascio J is that I'm uploading a video right now to YouTube that is my manga haul from yesterday. And instead of it being like a 5 minute video like they usually are, this one is like 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes long. So was going to get Wolf. Um, do they have it where it's red where they say that they're not going to order anymore, or did they just say that they were out? Because if they're out, you can order it and then they'll ship it to you when they get it. But yeah, so this is one of my new ones. Excited about, super excited about. Since the day I saw this one, I really wanted this one to read. And now that I have it, I'm kind of like, I want to read it now, but I'm trying to finish my other ones first before I get into it. But it's the Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu. So it's really cool. Um, and then this one, Amascio J already knows about Radiant. And then the last one is by Hiro Mashima, Fairy Tale, Rave Master, all that other stuff, Eden Zero. And that one is Monster Soul, Volume 1 and 2. That's the only thing that came out of this one. So that one should be a kind of quick read. Oh, okay. Whenever you get that membership, you'll be able to do it then because somebody else asked me about that. Whenever you have a membership, like with my pre-orders, a regular person that doesn't have it, you don't have priority shipping. Basically, they would basically hold on to your collection until you had all the books. Um, if you have priority, whenever they get the one volume, if it goes like a week and you don't have any more that are going to be paired up with it, they usually just send it to you. So it just kind of depends on that. I don't, if anytime you see me get like a single volume thing, it's because of that priority stuff. They send it to you like as soon as they get it. So, right. Um, Well, the other thing, I can't remember what video. I know I'm behind on my community challenge. I actually have all the videos except for today's video, which I need to do here in a little bit. But everything else I already have. I have it. I just haven't uploaded it. I've gotten time to do the videos. I just haven't gotten time to upload the videos. The connection at my house for like an 8-minute video takes probably about 30 minutes to an hour, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But if they can do store orders, another one, you guys can't see it because it's kind of back here behind the chair, about right here on that shelf, is I finally got Planet Tests, volumes 1 and 2. They're really cool. The space one. That one, and I I know you can't zoom in, but it's right there. Um, right, take me with you. I also got Time Killers, which is by the creator. It's a bunch of short stories, um, and it's about right here. It's called Time Killers. It's a bunch of short stories by the guy that did Blue Exorcist. Um, and I got it because I wanted to start trying to put like my authors together, like who made the series, and all that other stuff, so I could put them together. Only bad thing is book size, and I know some of them are going to be a little different, which is a pain in the butt. Especially whenever I don't know when I'm going to get it, but whenever I get Blame or Blam, um, those ones are like huge. So that even compared to like Biomega or something like that, I mean, they're going to be huge. But yeah. So you got any questions? Either one of you guys? Um, yes, they're like $25, but there's 6 of them. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get them. That way I don't have to worry about them going out of print. And if I was going to get them at the store, it would be a lot. But I'm going to order them from Right Stuff, which I'll probably get like, it'll probably knock them down to 20. And if I can find them on a sale, it'll probably knock it down to about 15. So hopefully I can find them that way. Um, but yeah, weather here is kind of here and there. Um, what's the jingling? It's the fan. It's kind of going, and it's like, I don't know. It's something in the fan. That's what that boop 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 kind of sound is. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Arkansas really is like we get rain and it cools it off for a little bit, and then it turns right around, and then the humidity gets really hot, so it like triples the heat here. So that's really about it. I think we probably use like a bunch of electricity for cooling stuff. Um, I really want to, even though it's kind of crazy, I really want to move somewhere closer up north where it is cooler most of the time, and I don't have to worry about that. Do I have manga recommendations? Yes, the heat down here is bad. I think we've been juggling between 80 and something around 100, back and forth all the time. Right, I'm moving there. I'll be there soon. Don't worry. I need you to show me around though, because you know, I don't know anything. Manga recommendations. What do you want to like? Uh, Winter's coming. I don't know. That seems like a Game of Thrones reference. Um, uh, as far as yeah, as far as a recommendation, like what do you want exactly? Um, you want like a specific kind of manga or what? Because there's a lot, obviously there's a lot. Um, because I just commented on Miggs's video earlier that I watched, and he was like, I was like, I don't have Goodnight Pun Pun, and he was like, you don't have Goodnight Pun Pun, and I was like, no, I hope I can get it like real soon. And he was just like, oh my god, I can't believe that you don't have Goodnight Pun Pun. But every episode of last season, yeah. Shonen. Um, I mean, the Doctor Stone's really good. Doctor Stone, Demon Slayer, like Amaskio J said, because I've heard a lot of good things about it. Um, Radiant. Oh, Football Night, yeah. American Football Night. You're gonna get a lot of people that ask you about soccer, Amaskio J, when you say football, because everywhere else considers football to be soccer. For us, it's the only place that it goes by a different name. Right. Why couldn't we call it handball or something though? It would make sense. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones like that. Um, Elias, there's a bunch of different ones. Like, what are you looking for in it specifically? You want it to be more comical, um, more actiony? Because I know that you like Naruto and One Piece and stuff like that. But if you want like more comical or something like that, um, and about how long are you wanting it to be? You want it to be like um, a good amount or kind of really small. I mean, there's just a bunch of different options. I always hate trying to pick a manga series to recommend to somebody because I usually recommend like the current thing I'm reading. because if I have to pick like a different one, um, it either comes from like my favorite shelf or something like that. Take that. Shots fired, I think. No. Boom, boom. No. Great character development. It can be really long too. Um, okay, and I'll tell you this one, and it's just because Toaster Cat just came on here, and he just sold it to Bazaar. Um, um, and that's Black Cat. Black Cat is a super super good series. Um, and I mean, it's spectacular. Whenever I did my top 100, I mean, it was like in my top 20. It's really good like that. I love it. Right? Just Cat said, I'm back. Another one. I had another one in mind, but I can't think about it right now. There's two series that I have right now. I actually have to go through them because I've previously read like scanimations and stuff of them or whatever, or something like that. Or I borrowed them from a friend, and that's Nura and the Devil Chronicles, and I have to go through. I think I'm up to 11 the last time I looked at it, but I got to go through and actually look at that still. Right? Isn't that bad? We're gonna have everybody just hop on again. It's gonna be crazy. Um, how crazy would that be if we all just had like a big like video? That'd be horrible. Um, yes, Nura and the Yokai Clan. That is the one that I've read like 10. I just recently bought the series though, so I have to go through that. Okay, yeah. I mean, or if you want to go watch that top 100, I mean, everything on there is something that I really enjoyed. There was either something involved with it that just made it just super good, something, or it had like a life changing experience while you were reading it. Um, Monster is a great one. It comes out really slow though. They're only on the third volume, but that's my number two spot. Um, it's really good. Oh, Nora and the Yokai Clan. I always get it confused with Nora, Nora, and the Chronicles of Devildom. And that's a 9-volume series, but for the longest time, I thought they were the same thing. I was getting it confused left and right. Um, I mean, we'll have to try later on. Me and Toaster Cat have to see if I can get him linked up with us. So, um, or something like that. You want me to wait on you, Maskio J? We'll figure out a time here in a little while and try and. Oh yeah, and just try it out. You know, um, because I'm not 100% sure on all that. I think really what it was is if we would have all been on the chat before we went live, I think it would have worked. But that's why you test stuff out. So, but yeah, Nura and the Yokai Clan is one, and I'm trying to find this other series. I bet it's over here on my side table. Maybe I lied. Actually, hold on. Oh, it's Knights of Sidonia. That's the other one. I got to go through because I'm like halfway through the series, but I don't know where that is. TTFN. But yeah, good stuff. I mean, but yeah, trying to like catch up on all this other stuff. I'm going to. That's what I was saying earlier, Toaster Cat, that I was going to like all my series and stuff that are like right here that are ones I've already started or something like that, trying to catch up on. I'm probably going to do some polls to try and figure out like what people want me to read next, so I can kind of get through that. And I'm going to try and do like a live stream every Sunday, kind of early, unless there's like something that pops up, and kind of let everybody know like where I am in that whole confusion and everything. And you know, if I know something that's kind of going to stand in the way a little bit, because I got like 20 volumes right now pulled out that I'm going to try and catch up on. Um, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Last week, my work put me in a class, and next week they're putting me in a class that I basically have to like do that, and then they want me to go back to work for a little while to work the night shift because that's what I'm usually on. Um, so I got to go do that for a little while, and then you know that's why I'm kind of behind on uploading videos a little bit, is because I had class last week. So I tried to like record them whenever I could. It was just hard finding the time to upload them. I'm trying to upload a my manga haul right now. Um, my first September one. It's about 27%. Um, but I also am changing how I'm going to do my manga hauls. I'm not going to do the camera right over the box like I've been doing. I'm going to actually sit here and, hold up the volume and say, hey, this is my new volume I got. It's volume 4, give you the front, the back, all the stuff, and then kind of move on from there. Um, I work with property. Whenever well, specifically here in Arkansas, we do what we call personal property, and yeah, um, we do that, and um, we just do cars here for our personal property, unless you own a business. Um, but then you have like other places, like my teacher last week, which I told Damasio J, it was funny, actually lives like 30 minutes away from him or whatever, and they do their stuff different. And the classes they're putting me through right now are for like the international branch of stuff. So I'm trying to do that because it gives me like a certification and a title and stuff. And if I can get that, then whenever they have anything that I have to do, as far as like I can go out like outside of the U.S. borders, different stuff like that, or to a different state, like they'll send me there for a conference or whatever. So it's something really cool, and that's what I'm going to try and do to um, do that. And then the other cool thing is they kind of like write you a check for doing it. So if you pass them all, they give you stuff back. So that's really cool. Um, and my mom did stuff like this forever, so it's kind of like a passing down for me to do it. Um, alongside that, because I hope that I can do good with this and then also finish my college with my psychology major, and then go back and get a bunch of majors and or minors and stuff because of um, just different stuff I'm interested in. I'm interested in history, philosophy, like all this different stuff. I like to learn, so that's probably why I read so much. And yeah. Yeah, I actually took a page from your book, Toast Cat. Um, yeah. Um, I went in because of all the crap that is happening, and I deleted all my videos relating to manga reviews um, because I was like, I don't want to have to worry about it. I don't want to worry about anybody like where I showed the pages in the book because I can't remember when I started doing that. Somebody asked me, and I just can't remember when I started going from showing the covers to doing all that. So I decided to kind of back it up and um, delete all those. So if somebody does watch them, I don't have to worry about it. Um, and then move forward with everything else so they can be like, oh, hey, you did this. So the other thing I'm trying to do too that I did it for is I am trying to get kind of like what Teching or Chibi Review have with Viz to try and get like a consent form where they basically say, hey, we'll speak for your channel if anything like that happens. Right? Anything to make it better. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I haven't gotten any strikes yet, but I don't want to have to worry about that at any time because all the reviews I had, um, I don't think it would take that long for somebody to get on my channel and me get 4 strikes in an hour or so because I had so much stuff. So hopefully doing that fixed it, and now I can just update the videos. Some of them I had where, like this one, like Yokai Girls Volume 4, I reviewed it and I had 1 and 2. So, well, now after I finish this one, I can update it and review 1 through 4 on how the story is and all that. And then later on, I'll probably delete that video and do another one, until it ends, and then I'll do that last video. So um, some of those I can do now, which I did take those ones off, but I'm going to go back and try and fix them where my manga reviews, what I'm going to do with those actually now is I'm going to do it as a live stream. So I'll make a video and say, hey, I'm going to do it on this night. I'm going to do a live stream. If I'm going to do one tomorrow, anything like that. And then if anybody has questions about that series, then they can pop on and ask about it. Like if I was going to do one for Nura and the Yokai Clan, and I was going to do a live stream right now, then you could hop on and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I could move forward with it and answer your questions at the same time I'm reviewing it. So, right. Last I checked, I have 500 and something series. So I have about that many that I can review. So, and I probably added another 5 or 10 to it. Yeah. And then, but then some of the other stuff too, maybe you guys will ask a question if you're interested in that one and answer it for future people. All they have to do is go on and watch the video, and you might have said, well, what about the art style or something? Well, if somebody else has that question, then they can just watch the video and say, okay, well, this person asked that question for me, and the comments are still going to be open for me to go back and answer questions anyway. So, yeah, that's what I kind of thought of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Get that out of the way. But, yep. Elias. So I didn't forget about you. So history is your favorite subject. I love history. A lot of people question when they come to my house a lot because a lot of otaku people like us have like maybe a katana or something like that. Um, and that's all they know that it is. They don't know the history of it or anything else besides that. I really like swords, and I really like history of like the battlefield, at least up to like the American Civil War. Um, Whenever like guns were like starting to be mass produced, I really like that stuff because it's just. But see, told you. Um, I have a katana. I have a traditional grass cutter um, that kind of um, like Sasuke's grass cutter that he uses, where it's a straight edge sword. That's also called a neginata. Um, I have a Scottish claymore. I have a Knight Templar one handed like short sword. And some other stuff. I have a couple different bokens or habokens, which are the wooden swords, and I have a couple different katanas and stuff. So they all have different things, but I like those. Alrighty, yeah. Just let me know. Send me a message on Twitter or something, and I'll see if I can figure out buy a Maschio J and get us all kind of like synced up together. That way we know what time we can try everything out today. But yeah. Um, I kind of really want to put the swords up in here though, but it's kind of harder to find a place for that when I don't have that much room with all the bookshelves. So, but hopefully I can find maybe some room. Um, it'll all just depend on everything. One of the other things I'm going to try and do is when I do reviews or anything, I'm going to like put the laptop down and not sit in this chair, but sit in one of my other chairs I have around the table. This one's like a comfy chair for reading. The other ones are more like a dining room set of chairs, and I'm gonna try and put that there where I can like as I'm reviewing them, then I can have my stack of manga over on the side like this, so you can see what I've already talked about, and then have like my one off screen and just add to it. That's kind of what that's going to turn into. Right. I really like that video of the con that you went to, and you dressed up as Natsumi from Natsumi's Book of Friends. And I'm like, I still need to get that manga too. But yeah, I mean, it looked really, really super cool. Um, I've been to one, and it wasn't all that great. And the other thing is, I got to like meet Johnny Young Bosch, and he had a band. I don't know if they're still together or not, but I mean, they like swapped different people in their band like 4 or 5 different times. But his drummer is the person that stayed around like forever. I think his name is Miguel, and I got both of them to sign their album that came out. Um, but I mean, just in person, I don't feel like he's really like, and it might be like that annoyance where it's kind of like, oh, you know, I'm just here to meet you, da da da. But with me, it's kind of different. Like if I saw you guys in person, I'd totally be like, "Hey guys, how are you? You have a favorite series that you like me in? Like do you like me as Ichigo Kurosaki or one of the other ones? What's the series that you like me in? Da da da. Like get to like kind of know your people a little bit. Um, but I mean, I would totally like to become a voice actor. That would be pretty cool, especially if I could like go to different places. But I don't know. Yeah. I need to go to some cons. I besides that one, I haven't been to any other ones. My brother's been to some, but they're kind of like really like low key, so I'm not 100% sure on that. Right? Well, I'm hoping to figure out something. Um, Bazaar is going to come down in October. Me and him have talked as friends and stuff on the phone and all that for a while, and decided that he was going to come down and hang out with me for a weekend and everything else. And we were going to do Funko Pop videos and manga videos, and he's going to help me um, with sort through my collection, how I'm going to put it up, and everything else like that. We're going to do some gift boxes to each other and do videos on those. Just kind of different stuff here and there. But that's kind of my first person that I'm meeting outside of YouTube, and then hopefully I can travel around. In the U.S., I know I have a bunch of different people um, that are kind of like in the different areas where I can go meet them. So hopefully I can kind of take like a Europe trip and like go over there and you know meet some of you guys that don't live here, or different stuff because you're in Norway and Danny's in Switzerland and Miggs is in Portugal. So it's kind of like if I didn't take like a month-long trip over there or something like that, it would be too many trips back and forth. So that's kind of a pain in the butt that I hate about it. You know, but that's the other thing I was saying. If I get done with these classes, pass them all and whatnot, I'll be able to go over and travel a little more on somebody else's ticket. So really good stuff like that. But yeah, the other thing I was thinking that would be really cool is if it happened, I don't know if it would, but having one of the biggest collections, um, if like somebody like paid for me to come stay at a con or something, that would be really cool. Like, hey, meet such and such that has X number of manga, and let them talk to you about it. Like different companies like putting stock into it. I guess seemed really cool. That'd be really cool too, because then if there was like a bigger con, then they could be like, hey, we're gonna fly you over here, like to Norway or whatever, where we're gonna have this big con, um, you know, just different stuff like that, where they actually like pay for you to go. So I don't know. I really hope that that's an option maybe at some point, but not 100% sure. Reading. I have. I actually wanted to do a thing where I got to like live in Japan for a little while, or at least something where I could have like frequent trips over there, because they have so much little cool stuff that we don't have here, or that we have the option of buying. Not only that, but like the different food. I'm subscribed to Tabby Eats and some of the other like food people. And whenever they do a video over there, I'm like, I'm so envious. I want to go over there and try it and everything. Or convenience store food. Like if you watch a convenience store video, just like tons. What they have, onigiri rice balls. I mean, there's like it seems like a hundred different kinds. It's probably really only like 25, 30 different kinds, but I mean, you could try all those. I mean, there's so much stuff you could do. Um, One of the other like smaller YouTube people that I watch, Anime Uproar. Yes, no, Uproar. I know it's Anime Uprise. There we go. He went over there and didn't hardly like do anything. His biggest video he came out with was him going to like a maid cafe, which was cool getting to see that and somebody that I've talked to before and stuff. But um, it was kind of like, why didn't you do more? And he just said he was kind of bashful about it. I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, I'd be like, I'm doing a video. Oh, I forgot I'm in the middle of doing a video. Put my phone away or something like that. And then I have to be like, oh, my back. So crazy stuff like that. But yeah, I do want to go to Japan at some point. And I've talked to a couple other people, like if we could all like go at the same time and then meet up. Because if you have to like rent a house or whatever, I mean, you could do that. Or even if we have to, I can't remember. There's the one places, but then there's the other places, and I can't remember what they're called. The other places are the love hotels, which you just go to do stuff at, but they're actually fairly cheap. So if you went there and me and one or two other people, and we were like, hey, we're going to share a room, well, then you only pay by like the hour. And if we were going to sleep for 6 hours, pay for 6 hours, get up, take our backpacks and bags, and then just go, um, stuff like that. So you wouldn't have to have an actual place where you were living at, or a capsule hotel, those ones too. Um, all those I kind of want to try and go into and like see what the weird stuff is, or try them out for the first time, see what that's all about, just different stuff like that. Right? I feel like there would be like a figure that all of us would want, and we would like buy the store out. We would just be like, is who is that? Is that like Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura? We'd all buy it, you know, something like that, or Naruto or Kakashi. That's my guy. Um, Different stuff like that, like, and we'd have to figure out how to carry that all back home or ship it. That would be a pain in the butt. I'm going to ship all my boxes back. Hey, will somebody get them, please? Just put them inside my house. I really think that, I mean, just going somewhere else would be cool. I think other people take it for granted that where you live at, because it's different. Um, right. But like here, I've lived here like forever, so it's different for me than it would be somebody else coming for the first time. When Bizarre gets here, he might be like, "This is the funniest trip I've ever." Not just because I had a friend, but because of the stuff we go do, and we can be stupid about it. But I feel like unless you go somewhere else, you take where you live for granted. So you know that's why I'm totally psyched to like come to some of those other places, because I've never been there, and all the cool stuff, history. Not only that, but I have a lot of like bloodline stuff that's over there, like all the way up and down the coast, from like Europe to Africa, um, all that different stuff. So I'm like related to everybody over there. But I mean, it's really cool. I would just be like, I couldn't bring my 500 volumes of manga I wanted to read. Right? Well, I'll give you a quick background. My mom came from a small rural town, where the closest house was, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 miles away. Like it was far. Or I'm trying to think of my conversion table. Let's see, a mile is like 1.5 kilometers, so it was probably 4.5 kilometers away. I mean, it was a lot. Um, because it was all farmland. That's kind of where my mom grew up, and then a little town here where it was surrounded by mountains and stuff. And they actually in that state are known for coal mining. Um, for all that stuff. Well, small town like that too, so everything is small and there's not really a lot around, but it's all like jam packed into a little town. I mean, my parents came from little towns and stuff, and so it's not really that crazy for me to feel like I fit in a small town or anything like that. Um, yeah, and it's great. Snowed up there. My grandma, um, one of them, like I said, lived on a farm, so I mean, we had a bunch of land to explore on, and then the other one had a giant backyard. Whenever they got the house, the backyard was built like she lives on a little hill, and then the backyard kind of goes down the hill and goes out into this field. And the side street beside her house goes all the way down. There's probably 5 or 6 houses that go down that way. So the backyard actually encompasses where these other houses' backyard should be. Um, so I mean, it's just crazy. And then down at the very end, by the back gate where it was, is an old like grape orchard, like vine thing. So we used to go out there and pick grapes all the time, and it wasn't very big, but for a family, I mean, it was enough grapes and everything. So it was really cool. Um, but yeah, I see some of the stuff that you go do, like walking by the lake and seeing the ducks and stuff. I'm like, that is so cool. You know, I want to do that and not feel miserable going outside because it's so hot. But yeah, that's most of my like bloodline is like more Anglo-Saxon. We're more Nordic, um, and then it kind of spread out. So like um, Spain, I mean, all that stuff. That's kind of what encompasses all that stuff. So, which is, I mean, that's another reason, like on the history thing, why I liked all the different stuff. You got to think about like the Vikings and the Spaniards and Romans and Spartans and all that different stuff. So it was really cool getting to know about that and how swords changed and different stuff like that. So, and then battle tactics, everybody had to have something because um, the Anglo-Saxon people were like super tall. That's why they had the big Scottish claymores they could wield in one hand and all that other stuff. And then you had like the Romans that are like short, and that's why they did the formations where they actually marched together and attacked people as a unit. Your grandma was from North Carolina. That's crazy. And I'd never think about that. Um, I think the biggest part that we had come over was, I don't know. I need to get a map. There's like ancestry.com you can like send your spit into. We did that one year for my birthday, and they give you like a wave of how far your bloodline should go out from wherever it is, and just everything. Like everything in Europe had like was covered by one of these blips or different stuff. So pretty crazy stuff that you'd never think about unless you like, got into it. Astrology, I mean, all that different stuff. Yes. It only goes off of, I believe, your father's side. Maybe they've made a new one where it can do both of them. But I mean, just off my dad's side, that's what we got. Off my mom's side, I'm sure we would get like Native American over here, Indians and stuff, or Native Indians, and a lot more stuff over there in Europe. But it's really funny though, because when people ask me, like over here, it's kind of a black and white thing, or a lot of people go off of your skin color, and it's kind of annoying. But like for me, whenever I talk to somebody or whatever, I want to know like what your bloodline is, because I'm like, where was your parents from, different stuff like that. My brother that gets on here sometimes with me, um, his part of his family is black, and then his great grandma actually is like half blood Scot. So she came over and everything, and then married into the family and all that, and so he's probably just as Scottish as I am, which is pretty funny. And we're like skin color, it's night and day, but other than that, I mean, we're totally in sync and everything else. We're like the best buds. That's why I call him my brother all the time. And we've been best friends since I first met him in high school, basically. So, but yeah. Do you ever get to come over here and go to like North Carolina or anything like that? Oh yeah. You should be like, I want to go over there once. No, I mean, after if you find your niche and everything, and like with a job or whatever, I mean, you can probably go do just about anything you want to. That's why, like, since I was in high school, I was like, I knew that I wanted to be a psychologist, but I want to do like all this other stuff and entrepreneur work and everything else. So I'm like, hopefully, I can travel a lot of places and actually figure different stuff out, get to see different art, and I mean just different stuff like that, because there's a ton of stuff to see. We could go walk the Great Wall of China. Ooh, that would be a lot of walking. 60% on the manga haul video, so we're getting close. Oh yeah. What are you going for, like medical school wise? I can see it now. You're gonna be like, I have to finish this manga. I'm gonna go check on this patient, and then I'm coming back to finish this manga. Would happen all the time. That's cool. Yeah. You can totally do that. And um, I think it takes a little while, but you can become a traveling nurse and then go to different places and stuff. Somebody that I talked to had an aunt that was a traveling nurse, and she ended up going. Um, she went like a bunch of different places. She like went to a bunch of different states that were here, and then I mean, just had so much work that she did that somebody, I think, over in France hired her for a little while, and then somebody in Russia, and I think she ended up going to China, and then kind of like did that and made her way back, kind of making a ring, went to Africa, and then went. What's up, RPX? I haven't seen you since the last live stream, like a week ago. People are going to watch all these videos where I talk to everybody forever, and they're going to be like, what the heck? Why do you have so many videos that are like 2-3 hours long? Easy like Sunday morning? That's great. Love it. We've talked about a couple different things. Now we're just kind of talking about life in general. We talked about I'm uploading a manga haul video right now. I'm not going to be doing manga hauls looking in the box anymore. I'm actually going to do it facing the camera so people can see it. I'm going to try and do a live update every Sunday, trying to kind of let people know what I read for the week, because I'm trying to get my current TBR down where I can do stuff for reading all this TBR stuff. Just different stuff like that. And then just kind of life in general, like I said, getting up to date on all that stuff. Just got back from the new Predator movie. Was it good? I really like the old Predator movies with like Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. And then when they did Predator versus Alien, I actually got to watch it like 3 weeks ago at work, and I was like, I don't know if I can get into this. Yeah. They need just like some old school like stuff that they did before. I feel like they keep trying to like revamp them and make them like better. And I feel like that's what takes away from it, like a lot. Because they're like, oh, well, we need to put a spin on it and make it, instead of an alien movie, they try and make it like more sci-fi related. You know, sci-fi is, I mean, it's kind of a B movie kind of situation. You know, even though some of those are good, if you watch the Sci-Fi Channel, there are so many good B movies, but I'm like, you know, there's not any way for you to kick them over into being great movies without doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Freddy movies and Jason aren't like really big ones that I enjoyed. Um, but I mean, they were still good, you know, especially on like the scare aspect of it. You know, you'd be sitting there watching it and something would happen, and then it would get you thinking about it, or like after you shut it off, you'd be thinking about it. Um, I just watched a B movie the other day on Netflix called Thrills or Thriller or Thrillers or something, about a clown, and it was so bad. I was like, I wasted part of my life watching this movie. Why did I do that? Yeah, I totally think they could do some more legwork on that. Kind of like the old Jurassic Park movies. Like a lot of people are saying that the newer ones, if they didn't come from those old ones, wouldn't be as good, but they're so good and everything. Like the whole Jurassic Park series is just spectacular and everybody loves it. Um, but you know, that's because of all like the in-depth stuff they went into it. They did that. They didn't try and make it something it wasn't. I felt like they like got all the way up to the line of, hey, we're going to do something else, and then pulled it back, you know. The only weird thing is the genetic mutation stuff. Whenever they do the next one, I'm not sure what they're going to do to vamp up the stuff, because now we're almost getting close to it being a DNA movie where they're going to start splicing, all these different crazy monsters together, and it's going to turn into a Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon where they fused it together so much that it's just crazy looking. Um, but yeah, I mean, all of them, like, I sat down and watched those maybe a month ago. Watched them all on Netflix, 1 through 3, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I haven't seen any of the Jurassic World movies at all. I've seen bits and pieces, but I haven't gotten to sit down and really watch them. But I mean, what I've seen of them, I'm like, these are great. Nice hanging out with you. I will talk to you later. Hopefully, I can get this video uploaded so you can watch it when you wake up. The manga hall, even though you've kind of seen some of them. Um, yeah, let's see. There's been some other movies that were really good that came out too. The Alien movies kind of feel like the Predator movies. Oh, yeah, with the dinosaurs. Um, yeah, I liked them, but it was more of like a '90s thing. Um, there's some other movies though. Like my whole genre set that I like is fantasy, futuristic. Like I like everything, but there's always like a problem with some movies because of that. And I always watch it from a fan's aspect and then like from a movie aspect of, was it just a good movie in general, or as a fan, what should I rate this? Just like the Avenger movies and stuff, me and my brother and all of our friends go like team up and go watch those together. There's probably like 5 or 6 of us that go, and we'll just talk about it and we'll be like, oh man, that wasn't good. And I feel like I'm always the person that says that was a great movie because I actually watched it as a movie instead of like, oh, well, how does it build on the whole Avengers thing? So that's one of the other weird things that happens a lot in like my immediate friend group. Speak of the devil. No, we weren't talking about you. Um, we're up to movies, Amaskio J. Um, RPX just saw the new Predator movie, and we were kind of talking about how it was, if it was like great. We found out it's mediocre. And then we were just kind of talking about some of the other movies, how they were, if they're spectacular, how you would kind of rate them, if they're good, different stuff like that. So, how was the birthday party? I feel like you weren't gone that long, and we're sitting at about 66% on the upload for the other thing, Mile 22. Um, I'm trying to think what's the last thing that I really expected to see that was good. Um, honestly, the really last big thing that I wanted to watch that finally came out that I had to wait for was the Disenchanted series from on Netflix that's made by like the Simpsons people and Futurama, different stuff like that. It was spectacular. I fell in love with that just watching it. Um, Futurama, I watched it so much that it kind of like I was like, I'm not really a big Futurama fan. And then I ended up, loving The Simpsons and all that other stuff. And then I kind of moved away from there and got into whenever Disenchanted came out. I was like, oh, dungeon crawly stuff. This is more my group of stuff, and it was just awesome. That seems really fast. Toaster Cat did leave. He left from somewhere and now he's driving home and said that he would try and get on later on. That way, um, we can test out that thing. I told him I was going to talk to you, and I'm waiting for this video to upload so I can see if he messaged me on Twitter. So that's about the only problem with uploading this video at my house because it takes forever. I started uploading it maybe like 5 minutes before I started doing this. So it said it was going to take an hour, and we're at an hour and 20, and we're only at like a barely 70%. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Just saying. But yeah, so I've had RPX, Amascio J, Elios, and Toaster Cat. I wonder if Spring Sierra will get on here. She's probably at work. Um, Miggs, maybe. He's probably at work too. I don't know. He might. Bazaar is probably sleeping. Bazaar works crazy hours, so um, if me and him ever talk on the phone, when I get off from work at like 6 o'clock, is when I call him or he calls me to talk. And then whenever I'm going to work in the morning at like 9 something, he when he calls me, he's like right getting off from work. So it's pretty crazy. So, but it's pretty funny. It works out that way. But yeah, what card game did you play? Oh man, I'll let you be my person. You can totally spread it around. I know Manga Hoarder usually does watch my videos, so she'll do that, and then she'll kind of put it on in the background to listen to it. As far as Lathis and City Suite, I have no idea. Probably not, because when I did the question thing for that, I called out Migs and Lathis, and both of them still haven't done the thing. You know, Stumps did, but that's about it. Uno, Uno. Oh, Uno was the card game you played. I don't know where I was. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I was thinking of Kids Next Door, though. What'd you give him? Was it something cool? Was it a Pokemon plushie? Did you pass the mantle down? Is he going to have a Munchlax? Yeah. I mean, or even if you wanted to get Third Gear and somebody else did a thing earlier where they were talking about it, and I still don't think they've done any research on any of the stuff that happened. Um, and so I was like, that's cool. Um, but you know, most of it, but it still seems like they don't know everything that's kind of going on, what you can do and what you can't. I kind of dropped some comments on there for them, but I'm not 100% sure. It Gear Third, and I think it's Old Shaman, and they had somebody else on there, Shrug something, and they were talking about it, but you don't need to worry about people being intimidating. MSKJ Snorlax is intimidating enough. He's where all the real fear factor stuff happens. The only people that aren't scared of evil Snorlax is Shrugpod. The only people that aren't scared of evil Snorlax are the hamsters. So everybody else though trembles before him. Dun 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 dun. He's like the Megalodon movie that came out. Imagine that. Well, imagine if there was a cannibal Snorlax, or I guess it wouldn't be a cannibal because he wouldn't be eating other Snorlaxes. But he was if he ate humans. Oh man, that sounds like a really good thing to write. Like, what if the world like got pulled into like a Pokemon world and they all just wanted to eat you? That'd be crazy. He's a wuss. I mean, he can't be like hurt very much. He's a Snorlax. You punch him and he just kind of like doesn't do anything. It's like punching a pillow. Not evil Snorlax. You got a Charmander plushie finally. Um, I should have let you know what that thing was I ordered. There was a thing of 3 plushies. That's where my mini chan, where he got to pick all 3 of them. I ordered like a bag set, and they had all 3 of them in there together. The Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, and that way they could send it all to you at once, which is really cool. But I can't remember what it was. I'd have to go back and look. I ordered it I think I ordered it from Amazon, but it was back in like I don't know. It was like right after he was born. I think it was back in January, like even before I even started my YouTube channel. So, um, kind of a far way back there. I should have brought some water in here with me. I am thirsty. Thirsty. That's what happens when you talk to people all the time, though. I've been streaming for about an hour and a half. So, and then every time somebody new gets on, I kind of give them a rough spiel of what's happening or what this is for originally. So, we're getting close to 80 on my manga haul. Can't wait. Who was the first manga tuber I watched? During, or after I became a manga person, or a manga tuber myself. Or do you want all three? I can give you that too. Which is weird because all three of them will be different. The very first ever, um, well, I saw different people. The very first person ever I saw, though, talking about manga was Code Provider. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. If not, then that was the biggest person that I remember watching and them talking and stuff. So, um, yeah. Um, during whenever I was first thinking about becoming a manga tuber, like that whole time, it was Danny, because she would let me know on Goodreads that she put a video, and I go watch the video, and then eventually she said, "Well, you know, you could do this," and I was like, "No, I'm too bashful. I'm too scared. I couldn't do it." And then she just kind of was like, "Yeah, you can," and kind of like really put my nose to the grindstone until I kind of like got into it, I guess. Telling me that I could do it. So that's kind of how that got started. And then now, or the person I really watched after I became a manga tuber, besides watching Danny and continue that, was actually a mix between Fatal Ferret and a little bit of Insidious Weed. Fatal Ferret was the person I liked more just because of, like I said before, I feel like Fatal Ferret is a little more easygoing and genuine, and you actually get to see him. So maybe, I mean, I might remember that. I'm not 100% sure. Um, if somebody kind of gave up on manga, I'm probably at the mindset had to give up on them, just because that's kind of my thing. You know, I think if you enjoy something, should just keep kind of going. Taki Rocket is her name. Um, you might have to send me a text message on that just so I can remember to look at it because I'm not going to be able to see it until this thing's done. But yeah, I can go look at that. After this thing's done uploading, I'll be able to go look at it. I don't want it to be all the way up in the comments where I'm not gonna remember exactly where it was and try and look for it. So Dragon goes house hunting. Are you gonna add that one to your manga list? Amaskio J. I mean, it's totally delicious in dungeon, but it's a dragon house hunting, and it totally, you know, I really want to know if this is supposed to be the same dragon that is in Delicious in Dungeon because that is kind of what he looks like, but I'm not 100% sure. At least from the front screen, he kind of looks like him a little bit. In the book, he doesn't look so much like him, but yeah, I mean, it looks really close. I believe in you because now you got to fill out the rest of your stuff for the extra money you have from not getting it from Barnes and Noble. I don't know if it's a spinoff or not. Let's look at the back real quick. Um, I'll just read you the thing. It says, "Home Sweet Home. Letty is not very good at being a dragon. Actually, he's so terrible at it that his dad went and kicked him out of the house. That's a skittish monster of myth to do in a world where everyone sees him as material for their next suit of armor. Why find a safe place to call home? Of course, with the help of a slightly evil elfish architect, Letty's quest for the ultimate draconic domicile begins." So that's what that is. No, I think it's just you and me right now. Somebody else might pop on though. You never know. But you never know. So, and then I got to figure out a good time for me, you, and Toaster Cat all to kind of sync up together. He said 1, but it was already like 1 at that time. So I think Toaster Cat is back past me in time. Did I read Wolf's synopsis? Uh, no. I've already read Wolf. I already own it. It's actually sitting right over there on the other side of my side table. I just can't reach it because it's on my horizontal bookshelf and it's too far away for me to reach. Or I'd reach over there and grab it and show you the cover and everything. Okay, I'm gonna have to show you. It's gonna be between 2 chairs, so you're gonna get to see my side table and then over there. Side table. You see it? It's like right there. What's up, Comic Otaku? Yeah, it's really bad. knowing where all my manga is. Somebody asked me the other day where such and such manga was, and they're like, "Oh, well, can you tell me?" I was like, "Sure." They were like, "Well, where is it?" And I said, "Well, it's like right here or whatever." I think it was Twin Star Exorcist, and they're like, "How do you know that?" I was like, "I know where all my manga is." So they asked me another one, and I think I had to like point like down here somewhere. But it was funny. They were like, "That's crazy." So I used to play that game with people all the time, though. They'd ask me like where a certain series was, and without looking, I could tell them where it was, what it was beside, all that stuff. Where's what again? Which one do you want? Oh man, a gin is over here, and I hate to tell you because it's there's part of them right there. There's part of them on that other one. There's one on underneath that shelf. Like because it was one that I had to pull out of the box. It's kind of in different areas. Right now, I just got to get up to 300 and then kind of keep moving forward from there. Um, Berserk is all right there. Um, the second kind of big shelf. The only bad thing is you can't really see any of it because they're like sideways where you can just see like the bottom of the top of them. And then you can see the ones that are actually like on the edge, but that's about it. There is like 1 or 2 volumes in the bookshelf on the other side of this wall in my closet. And as far as Ajin goes, I think there's like 1 or 2 volumes in there too. The last 2 volumes that came out, I think they're in there as well. I haven't carried everything. I'm waiting to get that last bookshelf so I can move everything in. Where's the special edition of Ajin you're gonna send to me in your if you win it? That box is actually I forgot if I didn't put it on the ground. I'm not seeing it on the ground. So it's actually on the other side of the laptop in this mound of books right here, right over there. Still on the table, it's just on the other side. Um what kind of one would you want to have recommended? Comic Otaku. I always me, I always try and like pick one where the person like 100% I'll know the person will like it. we're gonna have like a drawings and stuff whenever we get to it. I gotta get my last volume that gets me up to 4,000, so that way I have that many in hand. To that way we can do the collection video, and at the end of the collection video will be a drawing and stuff. I still got to get a couple more surprises to go in there. Something action packed. Do you want it to be like a long series or a short series? Um, Anything like that? Any preference? Or one that's ongoing currently? Or do you want it finished? Short. It's kind of semi action packed. Um, they're gonna have another reprinting of it here soon, for another one, but I would say um, probably Space Dandy, just from some of the stuff that I know you like on your channel. It kind of feels like a mixture between like Cowboy Bebop and um, maybe like the kind of like space episode of like Trigun, different stuff like that. It's really cool though. The guy's got a pompadour, dresses like he's from like the 90s, or not the 90s, but from like the 70s, because he looks like an old biker guy. Um, if you've ever seen Grease, like imagine the main character like that, but as like a space adventurer, or Captain Harlock maybe. I mean, it's pretty, and it's only 2 volumes. It's completed. There's going to be another print of it. This one is called, I think, I Am Space Dandy. The next one's going to be called just Space Dandy, and I can't wait till that one comes out, because I'm revving up for it. But I mean, some other action-packed ones that I have like right here around me. Golden Kamuy is pretty good. It's still ongoing though. Um, I'm trying to look. Oh, this one that's right here. Sorry for My Familiar. It's super action-packed. Um, it's new too though. They only got to the second volume, but the guy is totally like um, he became this little girl's familiar, because you're kind of like in a crazy place, and whenever you whenever he finally got there, he made a deal with her that he'd be her familiar and protect her until they found like her dad. um, but every time he sees like a new demon, he's like, I have to sketch it, I have to draw it, I have to research it. And so it's really funny because he beat up like these two demon children that were making fun of her, and beat up their familiars, and they were just like, oh my god, you know. But it's super action packed. Um, except for his craziness, he's like, I have to touch whatever it is. But he's super smart. He fought a salamander fire dragon, and it was in the middle of about to shoot out a big fireball. And he said he did research on it before. There's like a place underneath its neck. If you like rub it and you close its mouth, whenever the fireball's supposed to come out, it hits the mouth and it like incinerates the inside of them. Not where they die, but where it like puts them out of commission. But it's fantastic. I like reading that one right now. I need to catch up though to it, and then that one's still ongoing though, so I still have to think of one that's not ongoing. Tiger and Bunny. Tiger and Bunny is totally action packed, and it only goes up to volume 9. So that's a smaller one too that you could read. Um, the anime for it was great too. So I think that's about it. Boichi, I do not know. What is the? Oh man, you're welcome. If you got any other like questions or anything, I mean, feel free to ask. You totally be like, hey, there's another series I want to read. Um, you know, recommendation or anything. Um, I don't know. What does the cover for that look like for Boichi? That might be another thing that I need a text message on besides the old manga tuber person. That way I can look it up. There's a lot of stuff I don't have, bud. I still need to get Terraformers because it's been on my list for a while, and Sweetness, not Sweetness and Lightning, Spice and Wolf. That's like two of the big ones on my list. Rave Master is one that I can't get, or Initial D, without like doing hard work to find them. So I need to get those two though. And Mushishi, I need to get that one, but that one's like $60 a volume. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to get that one. I think there's 8 volumes for it, and the last omnibus is, or there's 7, and the last omnibus is volume 8, 9, and 10 altogether. And that one's expensive too. Like that one, some of the issues go up to like $100. We're getting close. We're at 95% on the manga hall upload. Woot. Well, if I look up this Boichi one, and I see it, it might be one that I have. I just don't know. Um, I mean, I might have it. I would say probably not because I don't remember the title. Usually, I remember the title if I have it, but then I can be like, "Hey, I have that one." Oh, okay. There's a couple more that I need to order that I got from Lindsay Tutt. They're up here behind these Funkos, like NTR or something, and uh, Nanyan Biori, some other ones like that. Yeah, I'll have to look though, because there's different ones like that that other people don't have, and then I end up getting, you know, somehow, some way. I'm still freaking waiting on. I ordered. I ordered Gungrave, the anime manga, and I ordered it back. I think August like 19th, and it's not even supposed to get here till like September 29th. I'm like, why is it taking so long? Oh, is it Brody's Ghost? I feel like you're gonna cuss me out for that one. You're like, how'd you know? How'd you know? I need to go find this one volume. I don't know where it is. It's one that I got called Makeshift Magic. Oh, okay. We'll play it off that way. Makeshift Magic. Instead of you opening it like a regular volume like this, you open it like this, and I put it somewhere, and now I can't even find it. So I don't know. I need to find that volume though. It is a pretty crazy looking volume, but I put it somewhere because I was like, it doesn't look like a manga, so I just kind of, you know, I guess it could still be though like a non-traditional manga. I mean, anything could be kind of that. Did you see the new Justice League manga? I don't think I'm going to get that, but I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Let's see, what are we up to? We're almost there. I mean, I know what you're getting. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, what the heck? I love it. I already know you will be. Non viewer. So do I won't say though. That's confusing. I don't know what that means. The Star Wars manga. I don't know if I've seen that one. Of course, I haven't been on Right Stuff. Have you been on Right Stuff here recently? I haven't been on Right Stuff in about 3 days, maybe a little more than that. I need to update my Goodreads list though, because that's where I archive like everything, and I don't have my last three orders on there, so um, I need to put them on there because I'm probably another 100 up on what I should be. So, but they won't come out till January. Damn. Um, Next week. Next week we'll do. Comic Otaku. Are you still here? I bet there's some good comics you read here recently. I'm still trying to finish the last book of the Batman Metal series. I need to find off of the Batman before I actually start the real series. It's kind of a pain in the butt, though. On Goodreads, if okay, let me give you some tips on doing them. When you go into it, I don't rate. I don't rate like anywhere, except on like when I rate them on YouTube. Um, if you pull up the manga thing on Right Stuff though, and they still have it on there, go into it and get the I think it's SNL something like that or DNL, the actual like number that represents the book. Copy that, go in and put it in there, and then if anybody has it like in Spanish or Chinese or anything like that, you'll still be able to pull up the book with that. I have Wolf on mine, but I think I had to go that route. A lot of times it's easier to do that than trying to type it in English because there's so many other different countries that if they get it before us or something like that, they'll add it in under like a different name or in Japanese characters or something like that. And so we have to put it in a different way sometimes to find it. Now, newer volumes, they're usually not on there. Like one of mine that I just recently got. It's not even on there yet, and so I kind of am waiting to see if somebody will put it on there or if I need to go back and kind of make one for myself. I've had to do that with some. If you get one with all the information on it and it looks like the same information you get from Right Stuff, um, but there's no cover to it, that's probably one of mine because I go and I add it in there because nobody else has and do it so I can add it to mine. So a lot of them I've had to do that way. I've probably done like 20 or 30 of those where I've had to actually put it in myself. But yeah, most of the time I just use, if I can't find it by the title, I just use the DNL to pull it up. My mistress is so good. What does that mean? I'm very confused. Bam. The manga hall should be up in a second. It's going through the processing motion. Oops. There we go. Going through the processing to have it up there. Oh, I mean, I can't really agree to that. I mean, I don't feel like you're cheating on Barnes and Noble. You're just leaving a bad woman for a good woman, so to speak. You know, BNN was the woman that was like, "Hey, I want you to spend all this money on me for jewelry and all that other stuff," and you're like, "I just want a plain woman that I don't have to worry about that's still good, you know, no matter what." And so that's right stuff, you know. I guess maybe. I mean, there still is that whole controversy, you know. I'm not 100% sure what people will think about that, but I mean, I totally think they should do a spin-off futuristic one where Naruto ended up getting with Sakura and what life would be like in that, like a alternative universe. That would be kind of insane. Just like one volume spin-off. Whatever. Get out of here. But yeah, man, I think I'll probably let this go about one more minute. That way we'll be at like a solid 2 hours. And then I'll be on here later on with you and Toaster Cat, see if we can get that thing worked out, you know. Because I know I can hook you up into it, but you know, hopefully that was just the problem. With your new ships, what do you mean your new ships? How do you get new ships? Yeah, I'm gonna try. I think he's gonna send me a couple different emails, and then I think he's making a new one to try all of them out. So yeah, we'll get it done. Oh, for Naruto, do you paroled pairings paroled? Is this in Naruto still, or is this in a different manga though? Bam, the manga haul is now up as well.
Hello, guys, and today we are going to talk about the favorites.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, because it's funny, you're pairing stuff like that, but then what about waifus? Like you could say you want the girl that you like from Berserk, Frarley and Guts to uh Frarley, like Fruts, something like that. To oh, you heard his video? Yeah, I was trying to comment or go back to a comment that we said on there. See, so while you're reading the thing, you totally got to be like you're gonna kick Imamura, you know, just kick him out. Yeah, Farnese. So it could be Garnies or uh, Farts or Futs. I guess Futs. There's different stuff. Yep. So that first video is now uploaded. So, right. I had to go make a comment on that other video. So, but yeah. Anything else you want to talk about before I get off here? Um, Not a lot. I mean, you got to think about it. If he was a Vamchuck, then he probably would still want to like suck the marrow out of like nuts or something like that, like regular chipmunks do. Because if he was gonna drink real blood, there wouldn't ever be enough for him to drink it from a person. Um, but I mean, from maybe like another like a chipmunk, he could probably do it, maybe. But then we'd have to get into the question of, does he know enough if he knows when to stop to make a second Van Chuck, or if he just keeps going to the extent where he kills every chipmunk he drains out. So, right? Yep. Stuff like that, bud. That's how it happens. But, yep. Well, anyway, I guess I will get off of here so I can let you go watch that video. But yeah, I guess I'll talk to you here in a little bit whenever I figure out the stuff with Toaster Cat. So, bye.